Okay, anyway, before I was rudely interrupted, clearly they wanted me to stop, so I just deleted so much crap off of my phone to be able to do these videos, and it still came through as if I didn't have any space on my phone. So that's how bad they don't want me to talk about this. But we about to talk about it because no ma'am, no sir, no eggs, no ham, and it's a female clearly. Just trying to make sure all my cards upright, so if they come out in reverse, I know that they actually came out in reverse, that my cards were not already in the reverse. So yeah, they don't like when I use these cards. These cards talk too much. They don't like that. All right, so anyway, so yeah, they're a thief. And a thief could be of anything. Love, happiness, wealth. Love, happiness, wealth. They're a thief of self-worth, ego. They got too much, or they got too much pride. You know what I'm saying? That's why they act like that. They arrogant. They're egotistical motherfucker, and they feel like they trapped. They feel like they trapped. Stop. Clarify. Stop cosplaying. Fear is guidance. I have libation. Stop cosplaying. Fear is guidance. Real estate. Look. Stop cosplaying. Fear is guidance. Stop cosplaying. Fear is guidance. So this is somebody who they're big on religion. But they like to, it's like they cover themselves with, so internally, they don't feel well about themselves. They don't feel good about themselves internally. So they have anxiety a lot. But when they're around other people, they portray themselves as if they don't have these specific issues. So stop cosplaying fear as guidance. They essentially, they put on all these masks, or they put on take on other people's identity and stuff like that, because they don't have one of their own, or they don't want to deal with their own identity. They don't like themselves. That's what it's giving me. And this could be someone who makes investments. They could be very wealthy. You know, just a well-off person. And they feel like they hit the jackpot with desiring to bully you or embarrass you or make you feel some type of way. So they act like this is giving me the Mean Girls. Ain't that movie? Whatever that movie called with them mean girls that was in high school that kept bullying all them folks, and then that girl wasn't one of them, and then she turned into one of them, and she started being mean, and then she ended up in the burn book or whatever, or she the one, however that junk went. But that's what that's giving me. And they are having a dull life because of this. They feel like people are isolating them. They're very disappointed. I don't know if they're disappointed in themselves, or if they're disappointed in the person that they tried to do this to because it didn't work. Or maybe they're just disappointed because whatever they tried to do to this person didn't work. Or they're disappointed because all they so-called two-faced friends just like them left them to wallow in their own bullshit because they caused a natural disaster to someone, trying to force them into survival mode. They took a big risk, and they took a big risk against a sweetheart, and they wanted this sweetheart to be lonely, you know what I'm saying? And they wanted to bully this sweetheart into loneliness. They were having good thoughts about fulfilling whatever this was. They thought that they had got lucky with this wealthy person. So this sweetheart could be the wealthy person, and they just wanted to snatch that from that person because they didn't like how it looked on that person. They didn't like the fact that this person exuded money. They didn't like the fact that this person exuded purity. They exuded self-love, self-awareness. They weren't fucking with that shit. And so they feel like they had to bring this sweetheart down. They feel like they had to bully this person out of their spot. They had to, you know what I'm saying, to knock them off their square, and now they scared about it. They depressed. They having a lot of mental conflict going on right now. Yeah, about the decisions that they made dealing with their family also. It probably affected their family in such a way. Or they probably got a fucked up ass background. You know what I'm saying? And nobody knows that because they try to hide every damn thing. So it could be something. They could be scared about something dealing with their background. It could be something dealing with the home, or just dealing with the family ties. And family doesn't always have to be like blood family. It could be extended family, like friends and shit like that. Or they having conflict with the family. They in mental conflict with the family because they were supposed to be an expert at this shit. They probably was trying to teach somebody something and motherfucking it didn't work out how they thought it was gonna work out. You know what I'm saying? So let's clarify. Spiritual hygiene starts with laundry. Clean your room. That's the message. Spiritual hygiene starts with laundry. Clean your room. That's the message. Yeah, this person is in a fucked up mind state. Their mental is all over the place. It's just very chaotic back there. You know what I'm saying? And them look, in my eyes, them look like little pathogens and shit, like parasites and shit. So this person is more than likely full of parasites, like attachments. Could be entities, could be actual parasites, but they not clean on the inside. They got a dirty soul, and it's inevitable that they got a dirty soul, man. They dirty, and it's inevitable. It's inevitable. Okay, so spiritual hygiene starts with laundry. That's giving me. It look like a lot of clutter back there on that picture, and then this card came out with stress and all that chaos around their head. So they are in a mentally chaotic space. They feel like there's nothing around them but trash, and now they're exuding exactly what they are, which is trash. And they're stressed about the inevitable, which is someone having evidence or someone doing an investigation or having proof about what the fuck they've been doing. That's why their mind is so cluttered right now, because they've damaged the most loyal person on their team. They've caused this person to be in lack or feel sorrow, sad, just like they lost, you know what I'm saying? Like they lost everything that they really would want to have in this world, and now it's bringing them, they suffering behind this shit. They suffering, man. They suffering because they done had an awakening or an enlightenment about the things that they were doing. Maybe this person has a mental disorder and they only know right from wrong once they come out of. Maybe they have manic episodes or something. I'm not making excuses for this person, but Alliance came out in the reverse, which is telling me that they've had an awakening about a collaboration that they thought everybody was in on, and apparently everybody wasn't in on it. These people that they were working with were not their freaking allies, and now they're realizing that they got duped. They got tricked. What they ready for? What they ready for? So they got duped. These people that were their friends were not actually their friends, and they made an arrangement to cause somebody a disease or some type of illness, or to make them weak, or just have them, not able to stand on their own. More than likely, then it's 143 on the time, and the song playing is "Medicine" by Queen Naja. On the time on the music, we're at 310, so that's 13. That gives me 4 again. So that cake is in the oven. 14378. So it's giving me reaping what you sow. So they planted the seed and not a seed in the oven, right? So let's clarify. Dots don't mean devotion. Read energy, not typing bubbles. And like I said, that gave me, like, this person likes to leave people in limbo. They like to control the situation, and because they can't control the situation, they are having indifferences with other people. They're quarreling with other people or arguing. They're having interferences with these people that they call allies, because they were trying to come up with some type of plan, or maybe they were working with management on said job, or doing sneaky things with management to stay on top. So these people this person leaves people in limbo. They ghost them, and then they get mad when they can't control the narrative. But the schedule is off. That's more than likely why they mad, because the things that they were doing are no longer working, because this person was trying to be very persuasive. They were trying to bribe someone into doing something, I guess, in management maybe, or something like that. Yeah, in management. So, and it didn't work. And because it didn't work, it's looking like they more than likely forced some fumble. Is playing right now. Time is 1:45. 116, 6, 7, 8, still an 8, man. 9, 10. That's 18, which busts down to a 9. So yeah, this shit over. They tried to force this motherfucker into. They tried to force someone to take a bribe for them to do something, and the person didn't want to do it. So they probably beat them up or frightened them in some kind of way, or scared their ass into taking this damn bribe. And it looked like the lady scared as hell. It looked like this person that they tried to bribe is frightened as fuck. Like, she like, oh, no. Like, I don't want to touch none of that. And she could, and because I said it like that, she could be Hispanic. She could be a Spanish descent, because she like, no, I ain't touching that. I don't want no parts in that. And I guess the people that tried to bribe got mad. You know what I'm saying? They probably did something to them. And now they're seeking out an apology because they feel guilty. They want to confess. They're looking for forgiveness, and with relaxation falling out sideways on top of perfection, this person wants to take a break from whatever they're supposed to be an expert at, because it's not working. They want peace and tranquility. They want this shit to go smooth, but it's not. Everything is fucking falling apart, and they just want to relax, man. They just want to apologize, and they want to bring peace to the situation. That's what I'm getting. But in this card, the book is blank. You know what I'm saying? So if you're relaxing and there's nothing on the book, like you have a blank mind, there's nothing on your mind. You're not thinking about anything. You're not trying to correct anything. You're not looking back at none of the things you did in order for, like, you coming in to apologize. What you apologizing for? What you sorry for? Like, what? And then somebody told me one time, they was like, I like for people to say I'm sorry. And I'm like, why you? I would never say I'm sorry. And they was like, yeah, because people don't want to say they sorry. If you have someone to tell you that they're sorry and why they're sorry, they're 9 times out of 10 not gonna do it again, because it makes them feel like a sorry ass motherfucker. And that's exactly what this person is, a sorry ass motherfucker who likes to sit up and daydream. They have these fantasies and shit. They always being optimistic. They sitting up having fantasies about causing you a fucking injury, bro. They having fantasies about hurting your ass. Like, huh? So you sit up, you lay in your bed, like, do you get old? Like, I'm seeing that they doing stuff to themselves while they having these negative thoughts about you, trying to bring them into fruition. And this shit fell in a reverse on readiness and illness upright. So this, and marriage is in reverse. So they don't want this marriage. They're not ready for this marriage. They're sick of this marriage. They don't want shit else to do with this vow. It's no sweet love there. The couple is really two individuals just cohabitating in a place. They're dependent on each other, basically. So it's like, it's a codependent relationship. If one person leaves, and the other person probably won't make it. You know what I'm saying? Stop mistaking chaos for chemistry. That's not a twin flame. That's a fire hazard. Clarify, please. Curse. So like I said, this person always in chaotic energy, but they try to come off as if they're this peaceful, loving person, but they really come with it's like they should have a banner on their head that says, hey, I'm a chaotic experience, choose at will. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that. So this chaotic ass person feels like they're cursed because they're being puppeted. Someone has domination over them, or they're being dominated by an online community and a third wheel. So this is giving me, okay, they're cursed by being puppeted, and they no longer have any, like I said, control over anything. They don't even have privacy anymore. They want to separate from everybody. They no longer want to be a part of this online community, but they steady sitting up, laying in bed with their partner and their backs turned, and they both are on the internet. They're both in that still online community, but the online community probably don't want shit to do with it. That's why they lurking away from each other, because they don't want each other to see what the hell they looking at. So they lurking on this third wheel, or somebody that's supposed to be an enemy, somebody they collaborated with that they don't trust, because they wanted to gain some profit, and that was their ultimate goal in doing these things to you. The goal was to hurt your ass, curse your ass, make you be puppeted, allow someone to have domination over you so they could rob you of all your blessings, your wealth, stability, love, things like that. Anything that's good for you, they wanted to rob you of it. And now that shit is being returned. They're exhausted. Well, wait a minute. Yeah, that was their ultimate goal, but you in such a zen state that the collaborations aren't working anymore. They tried to collaborate coming against you because you're in such calm state. Like, their goal was to take you out of this calm state, this zen like mind state. They don't like that you meditate. They don't like that you're able to clear your mind. They don't like that you're able to alchemize whatever the fuck that they've been doing to you, because it looks like you've been alchemizing that shit pretty motherfucking quick. 14 busts down to a 5. So every time they do something to your ass, it's giving me that you switch it up. They're exhausted watching your reruns. Your spirit guides are face palming again. We have Coach and Triumph. They're exhausted watching your reruns. Yeah, they look stressed out. This coach may be stressed out, or this originator, whoever came up with this specific plan or this advice, or they thought that they had this specific knowledge. They're exhausted with trying to gain a victory or get success off causing you inadequacy or something like that. They're wanting to block your success. They don't want you to have any attention. They don't want anyone to see you. They want to keep you hidden so that they can keep doing stuff to you in the dark and nobody will ever know. And because of this, because of that, they wanted you homeless. Like, they wanted you to be a failure. They wanted people to cast you away. So they tried to isolate your ass. They wanted you poor, and all kind of shit. You probably was having all kind of issues with people. They came up with this weak ass strategy that they thought was fated for you. They thought it was your fate to be on the bottom, and it was their fate to be on the top. So they thought that they were gonna triumph with making you have a great fall, and that's not fate, bro. It's giving me like y'all tried to go back in time and change some shit, and instead like find a destination or whatever. When they was going back trying to switch shit up and folks was still getting knocked off, that's what that's giving me. Like, you can't run from this shit. It was fated, man. It was fated, and you love yourself. You independent. You don't give a damn about none of this shit going on. These people are in turmoil with themselves. You're so far removed from this shit. Like, you ain't, man, look, your eyes closed and everything. You hugging yourself. You loving yourself. Like, you don't see none of this shit because it's irrelevant to you. It doesn't matter. And then 43, that busts down to a 7. So that's divine, man. That's divine. You in divine alignment. Universe don't take X-back requests. Clarify. Universe don't take X-back requests. Okay. So it gave me origin, fury, and imagination. So like I said, this person is somebody that they'll leave them knowing that they was in the wrong, or they'll ghost them, and then they'll come back and send a text or reach out some type of way, some type of communication, and they'll sit there and watch to see if you're gonna respond. So the person that's doing that, I'm assuming that they've read a few narcissistic books or something like that, and they feel like they had a fast game plan. They feel like they had planted a seed that was just sure to grow, but they're angry because it was all in their motherfucking head. It was all in their head. It was just a figment of imagination because they saved up to do this. They saved up money to support these people with placing you in a compromising situation, but it only caused them disturbances and overload. So they're overwhelmed with trying to put all this bullshit on you when you ain't deserve it, man. You didn't deserve that. You ain't deserve it. So yeah, stop is in reverse. Okay, bet. Keep going. Bet. All right, bet. Your heartbreak. I even clarify the bottom card. Your heartbreak isn't Broadway ready. Not every feeling deserves a forecast musical. Like I said, this person tell too much of their business to their friends. Too much intimate, specific details, and those friends use those details or stories that they tell them against them, and now they probably see how he crying with the mic and shit, like, I'm telling you this shit, and y'all talking about me. Y'all talking about me. And I'm coming to y'all, trying to talk to y'all about this. And I'm screaming and I'm yelling because I feel like I'm not being heard. Yeah, that's what's going on with that. That's how that person feeling right now. So they feeling left out, man. It's like they crying and laughing at the same damn time. Like they trying to laugh to keep from motherfucking crying. Clarify your heartbreak isn't Broadway ready, please. Holy Spirit. Friendship. Yeah. They tell their friends too much of their business. Ain't no friends. Ain't they motherfucking friends. Their network is showing them what the network is, which is absolutely nothing. That team they thought they had a motherfucking I in it. That shit was not spelled T-E-A-M. That shit was spelled T-I-E-A-M because there was an I in that team. And this person is starting to realize that. And they want somebody to come in and help them now. They need somebody to be kind to them because they are enlightened about people now accepting you, and they want harmony with you at this time. They want to come into you as if because they want mercy. They want mercy from you, man, because they didn't have any of these issues while they were with you, and then when they stopped fooling around with you, or whenever y'all separated, they no longer had stability. Their money started declining. The relationships that they were in weren't going in the way that they thought that it was gonna go. So whoever they went to outside of you and decided to lay over there, they're discovering now that that grass is not greener over there. Whoever had that grass, they had rocks. Their grass was brown. Them folks went and got some, what you call that junk? The turf. They went and got some fake turf and laid it down so it looked plush and all that around there. And that's how that person got food, because they made a vow and they stuck thinking about how they got caught in the trap for the vow that they made with somebody to try to do them something. So now they trapped with it. You know what I'm saying? So it's giving me like, okay, Double Back is playing by Coco Jones. Time is 1:58. So that's a 14. That bust down to a 5. Yeah, they want to make a change, man. They want to make a change, but they don't know whether the change gonna be good or bad. You know what I'm saying? So they hiding it. They hiding how they feeling right now about this shit that's going on. It's like they can't escape it. It's giving me every mask that they put on, they still dealing with that shit deep down inside. Like, I can put on all these masks, but underneath this mask, I'm motherfucking bawling my goddamn eyes out. They're not having sweet dreams. They probably not even, they're not getting any sleep at night at all. They been having long days and even longer nights. They making it. You know what I'm saying? Is there anything else? I ain't got no more. Is there anything else? They're not making it. They tried to persevere through this shit because they wanted eternal love. They wanted. They tried to. They were determined, jumping over. They was jumping over hurdles, jumping through hoops, rings of fire, all kind of shit to cause you. Because they were determined to cause you issues with your love life. But they want to come in and reconcile with you. They think that now that they see you for who you are, they're seeing you as their soulmate, and they want you to be open to receive the justice that they're bringing you, because you made them learn a big lesson. You were the catalyst in this person's life. You made this person see themselves for the nasty, vile acts that they were doing to other people just because they were hurt. You can't hurt people. You know what I'm saying? And that's so fucking true. So now they're trying to pray about it. They're going to God about it. They want God to bestow upon them the goodness that God has given you. They think that they're due the same blessings that God had for you, and that was something that they somebody probably suggested that to them or said something along those lines to that person. They probably were looking at you like, oh, that person don't deserve that. That person don't need that. That person don't need this. Look at how this person came up. This person got this, that, and the third. And look at what I got. But this person actually had more than you. And they just didn't want you to have shit. So they came up with this bright idea to do some fuck shit to hurt you because they didn't want to see you winning. They didn't want to see you on the top, man. So they got you up out of there. Some way, form, fashion. You could have lost your job. You could be down on income. You could have just lost anything that is very valuable at this time. You know what I'm saying? That was sober you, not retrograde. So this person they're actually a fucked up individual. They can't blame it on the drugs. They can't blame it on the alcohol. They can't blame it on no extracurricular activities that they do. They do those extracurricular activities because they're trying to hide from themselves. They don't want to hear that shit. Universe been calling their ass like, hey, pick up the phone. Like, you know what I'm saying? And they just ain't having it. When they do pick up the phone, they act stubborn. It goes in one ear out the other. They listen to argue instead of listening to understand. So give me 2 more out of this deck, and I'm gonna close this out. Holy Spirit. This fell out like this. Half your problems equal sleep deprivation. Like I said, this person isn't getting any sleep, and because they're not getting any sleep, they can't think clearly, which is probably why their house cluttered, probably junky right now, car probably junky. They not keeping up with their own hygiene. They probably, slacking off on that shit. And to close this out, we have stop giving idiots spiritual credit. Now, everyone is a lesson. Some people are just dumb. Like I said, this motherfucker they ain't right. They know that they do fucked up shit, but they don't want to accept that they do fucked up shit. They don't like to hear the things that they've done to other people. They like to do things to people that hurt them, and then they move on with their life, and they, I guess, try to not think about it, or, they try not to let it have an impact on how they really feel deep down inside, but it really tear their ass up. Like that shit eating their ass alive. You see how that trash walking up out of there? They ass just full of shit. They just full of trash. They full of shit that don't fucking matter. It's shit that they need to let go of. This person is harboring things from the past, or they could be a hoarder of feelings, and with a hoarder, they just pile up shit. So this is giving me that's this type of person. They hoard their feelings and let them pile all up to the shit walking out the damn trash can. And this one's on the bottom. Don't trust chaos. Don't recycle heartbreak like plastic bottles. Stop trying to heal in the same place that broke you. So this person is upset, or they're feeling depressed because they're stuck in a cycle that they had a chance to get out of, but instead of, God gave them a way out, but instead of them choosing the way that God gave them out, they went back to the lesson. And now they're learning even harsher lesson because they had already learned it before, but they're so codependent on this relationship or whatever they had going on with this person. It could have been long term, which is why this person is probably comfortable being there. They don't want to leave, or they feel like if they leave, everything will fall apart. So that's what the fuck that is. This person, it could be a woman, it gotta be a woman. This person just comfortable where the fuck they at. They've been in that cycle so damn long that it's brought them comfort, and they don't know how to swing up out of there. Or maybe they do know how to swing up out of it, but they keep thinking about the what else. But that's so crazy because, man, look, you don't need nobody, man. Nobody needs anybody to do anything for them. And you already know that nobody's coming to save you. No one's coming to help you or none of that shit. You got to do that shit for yourself. So this is a person that's feeling sorry for themselves, and they just want people to assist them, and they don't want to do any other damn work. So imagine you going just like the Hoarders. They got all that shit going on, and then people end up having to call people doing welfare checks, and then they get up in there, and then they have to start calling people with rolling dumpsters and all that shit, trying to get the shit up out the house. And as they trying to pick through the shit and asking the person, hey, do you want to keep this? Do you want to keep that? Why? They steady trying to hold on to it for sentimental value when it's really just trash. Know your worth, man. Get out of cycles when it's time to. Stop loving people past their limit. Stop loving people past your limit, because all it does in the end, you just end up hurt, and then you end up resentful, you end up bitter, and then you go around trying to project that shit onto other people, and that's not fucking cool. You hurt. Get out of there and heal. And healing does not happen overnight. Rome wasn't built in a day, man. It wasn't built in a day. Your foundation is dirty, it's cracked, it's trashy, it's messy. It's just not standing firm. You have one of those foundations that the roots from the tree start coming up on that motherfucker and cracking it down. You know what I'm saying? You got too many broken pieces here for you to be trying to be whole somewhere else, knowing good and damn well you are a fragmented being on the inside. You can't do that, man. Stop creating these illusions for these people only for you to crack their mirror in the end, because yours is cracked, because you got a distorted view of yourself. It's not fair for you to go out and try to make somebody else have a distorted view of their self because you're not happy with yourself. Get in alignment, man. Love, light, peace.